Are we on?
You are on.
We're going? We're palate wrapping. Ready to wrap it up.
Perfect time. Wine 30.
I know.
9
Seems like it, huh?
o'clock.
Feels like Friday.
It does. And it's throwing me for a loop. Because we don't have lunch provided today. I'm hungry.
We must look different.
Yeah, I know.
Tell we're a little while into. I do it just to tag along with the gang. These guys actually don't have time to shave. I feel like I can sort of like keep rooting them on by also having poor hygiene. But yeah, we're having fun. Here we are for another palate wrap. Thank goodness the pump's off that was on behind us. It does feel like Friday.
Yeah, we'll see some interaction possibly coming back and forth. We're in the middle of harvest. Thursday the 24th of September. I don't know where this month has gone, but it's almost October.
It seemed like harvest was so early and it was going to be done, and now we're pushing into the end of harvest month.
We're in the 5th week of solid fruit. We're about 150 tons for Peachy and about 60 for chronic. So we're over 200 tons into it.
And Peachy is like 80% done of picking.
Yeah, picking. Yeah, we only have a little bit of schoolhouse left. Yeah.
And then our chronic client here, our old home, they're still here
doing some stuff for Grape Creek Vineyards out of Texas, a new endeavor for us. So if anybody knows Grape Creek Vineyards in Texas, they own a vineyard here in the Willow Creek district, the Heath Vineyard, old Sierra Preto vineyard that we've gotten a long time ago.
They got that one?
Yeah, they bought that vineyard.
That guy was cool.
Yeah.
I like that dude. That's a cool spot. That's right across from the old Gravity Hills.
Yeah, G2.
Right. It's G2 now?
G2, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, we're going. It's grinding. At these guys here, they're nonstop. They're pretty much 6 days a week because they give each other a break here and there, but they still end up coming 7 days a week quite a bit. The interns live here. We can't bring them on because if we bring them on, it just kicks them back a half hour and it compounds, and then
the whole day. It's a trickle effect.
Then it'll be 9 o'clock at night before they finish. So, but it's been a killer harvest. Are you excited about the fruit, or is there good stuff?
Super pumped. It's been obviously an interesting year, and then through right before harvest, we never had that dash of rain, and then nothing happened. It just knocked the dust down, and we were all good. And then we had the fires, and the fires are still going, but we haven't had any, knock on wood, any smoke taint issues, any issues. I know a lot of people that have tested. We've done testing. We have had 0 issues. We've had ferments go dry with 0 issues, no smell, no off odors or anything. Fruit's been phenomenal. Everybody I've talked to in Paso has had a ton of luck, and I follow friends up north that have had no issues as well. And I'm sure there is some, but for the most part, people are still cranking along, and we're really happy.
Hopefully our Northern California growers and producers and end up getting through this with minimal loss.
I think they are, yeah.
They can have a nice 2020 vintage across the board. Yeah. And now I've been like kind of, creeping around and stuff and listening to some of the things you guys are talking about, you and Drew. Some of the cold soak sounds like they've been sort of pretty long for us.
Snow Vineyard, the cab, first pick of cab ever off of snow, and the first, since cab has never grown there, and now with the new first vintage, we went 27 days on the skin. So
and what's like a normal soak?
8, 10, or that was 20 start to finish, the 27. But yeah, cold soaks. The Syrah from Jump Hill went like 10 days, I think, of just cold soaking.
And that's in our GSM that just went into our spring club. That'll be in next year's spring club too. So that's killer. This fly is driving me crazy. Can we cuss on this? We can, huh? What do you guys call them? I call these flies dog pecker flies. And I recently heard from one of our growers out in Adelaide, he calls them shit flies. So another just disgusting name for an annoying fly that will not stop trying to kamikaze dive bomb into my ear. I'm trying to listen to you talk.
Luckily, I mean, knock on wood, we get the interns, the crew, everybody's been really good. We've had 0 fruit fly issues this year.
Yeah, that's just a regular one.
Awesome.
He just came in here.
Hey, how are you? We miss you. Wish you were here. Aliona. From Moldova.
How are you, sweetie?
A professional basketball player, a.k.a. surfer, now that she came to California.
Moldova also has the largest underground wine storage on the entire planet.
Yeah,
so a couple miles long.
Yep.
Cool. Nice to see you, dear.
Would
you like to taste some wine?
So yeah, it's all good. We're having a ton of luck, ton of success. everybody's having a good time. We have a new, we've got Leot and Ryan and Alex and Kelly, and then we've added Anthony, a new intern. So we've got a killer crew, and then Kevin and Jacob and Drew obviously are crushing it, burning the midnight oil, burning the candle late at night.
Yeah, I see some glassy eyes walking around and just like kind of getting it done. Yeah, I remember what that was like. So let's get to wines.
Yeah.
We're talking wines today. Today we're going to be breaking into our fall wine club that's coming out next month. We're going to do 3 of the wines from there and 3 more wines. If you're in the 6-pack club, you'll get all 6 of these. If you're in the 12-pack club, you'll get these twice. But we've got a couple of Zins in our Para Siempre today. We're kicking it off with our Mustard Creek Zinfandel, which is Josh and Gibsey's, one of their home ranches, I guess. It's not their home, but it's their vineyard. It's right across the street from us over by the Snow Vineyard we were just talking about. It's a cool little spot, little 10-acre plot. Fun fact about that joint, Gibsey lived there at one point, and I also lived there. And if you know Brian Benson Cellars, Brian Benson lived there at one point too. So
and their list keeps growing.
Yeah,
it goes on and on.
So it's a neat little vineyard on a dirt road. It has mostly Zinfandel, but a little Petite Syrah, which ends up going into this program. About 11% of this Mustard Creek is Petite Syrah from that home ranch. So it's 100% estate. It's our vineyard designate. It's part of the wine club. It's tasting really well. I tried it earlier just to kind of scope out what was going on, and I liked it.
I definitely think it's more one of our Zins that lends itself to the more elegant, more on the red fruit spectrum. It's not real dark and heavy. It's nice and fresh and bright and easy drinking. A little Petite Syrah to give it some depth, but I love the nose. A lot of the Zins, this program we've started is a lot of French oak, a lot of once filled French oak. So no new oak on these.
So it's toned down a little bit, but still get something.
Yeah, it gets a little bit, but it's really structured, and you're not trying to focus on wood, trying to focus on the varietal and the character of the wine.
Yeah, I like it. It's not overwhelming at all, and it'd be fun. I mean, coming up on Thanksgiving in a couple of months, this is a killer wine because it is really easy to pair with foods. It's not over the top, but it can hang with stuff. And Thanksgiving's not known for super spicy foods, but more rich and heavy foods. And I think this could hang with it, but also just, afterwards when you're sitting around just nursing your stomach ache, sipping on this bad boy. It's a good one.
One of those ones that's all, 2 to 4 years, 6 to 8 years. It's not like something I would recommend putting for 20, 30, 40 years. And Zin in general is a little rough on the aging, but it's a nice drink over the next couple of years.
It's balanced though. We tend to talk about Zin as like, this is a fruit, it's a fruit-driven varietal as far as these wines are concerned. And this isn't overly, it's not candy, it's not a bomb. It's just really balanced and nice. Yeah. If you're not a part of the wine club and you're watching this, this is a great reason to be a part of it. We are shipping next month, but it's fun. And we've been doing, we planted Mustard Creek in like 03 or something like that.
It's been a while, It's been hanging in there. It's a cool little spot. Couple tanks over, we got the Mustard Creek front portion where we did a 20% co-ferment with Petite Syrah too, instead of blending the wines later this year.
Do we do that for this one, or is this?
No, we didn't in this vintage, but we've done it in the past. We kind of go back and forth, and we brought it back.
Well, it's cool to kind of change it up and see how it affects it. We'll be able to taste this against it and see if there's
because we have another tank too that has no Petite, so we can really try and
see what it looks like. Because would the idea be that maybe there's a little better like color extraction?
Yeah, a little more flavor extraction, a little bit more homogenizing from day one, not just trying to blend the wine later to figure out. It's kind of is what it is now, though. That's the gamble.
Yeah, we can add more Petite, but you definitely can't take it out.
No.
Well, I mean, I know it's going to be awesome, but
I love co-fermenting.
And you can always add more Zin.
Then
to play with it and balance it out. So that's cool. Just more tools to work with here in the shed, so that when it comes, or on the spice rack, rather, so that when it comes to finishing the wines, we have options and whatnot.
Love to have options. Love tools. Love blending tools.
I like this one. It's good
too. It's pretty. It's a really pretty Zinfandel. Yeah, it's not over the top. It's not raisiny. It's not rich. It's not syrupy. It's really structured and balanced.
Yeah, it's well made. Good job, guys. Cool. Well, I guess we just go right into Bailey from there and keep chatting.
Might as well, since we just picked it last week.
Yeah, so Bailey's one of those cool ones, and this will be, we're working on it. Whoops, there he goes. Bailey is actually an organic vineyard, and that, you know, not only is it organic, it's dry farmed, and the Bailey Ranch is located in the back of Peachy Canyon, which is where Josh and I were raised. So it has a special place in our hearts. He's one of few growers that we still buy from outside of our estate ranches. So fun little morning facing planting of Dry Farms Inn that we get. So it gets that morning sun, and that afternoon it gets to relax. Has a nice long balanced ripening.
Yeah. And he designates, like, we're block 2. Like Peachy gets block 2 every year. It's our portion. And it's cool because there's, you know, Neil Collins from Tablas Creek for his Loma Drone, Sherman Thatcher from Thatcher, Kevin Healy,
Belluna.
Yeah, so there's some old friends and different wineries and winemakers that get their portions of this vineyard as well. And David's an awesome guy. He's a unique character. He's fun. I mean,
super. We got to get him on one of these.
We got to get him on the show.
Even if we just did like a vertical of Bailey and talk to him and see what he remembers about those years, maybe. Because, I mean, he's really, he does the farming. He's living down. He's been here 2.5 years now. I go, I thought you were still up north. Because that's what everyone says. I've been here 2.5 years. So he's been.
He'd get him talking. And, like, I went out there last time I went out to check it, you know, you start talking soil and beneficial insects and foliars and nutrients and how he worked the dirt this year compared to last year. And what implement he used and didn't use and his new ideas
and the benefits of that. He was telling me about as far as his weed program, maintaining, you know, keeping the weeds down and whatnot so he could actually work the field. He actually did less, but his timing was a little different and it was successful. What ended up coming up was just this pigweed, we call it, and you can look it up. It sucks to walk through it. It's kind of stickery, but he ended up with a lot less of that grassy stuff that he normally gets. It's also surrounded in an organic walnut orchard. It's just a beautiful ranch. We've been hanging out there since we were kids, riding BMX bikes and 3-wheelers, aka death machines, when they used to let us ride 3-wheelers back there. Just a helmet, and that's it. Underwear, riding up Peachy Canyon Road before all those big rigs started going up and down that road. But it's still a neat spot. If you ever come to Paso, cruise out Peachy, loop around, you can head out to spots like Thatcher and Loma Drone and those places we just mentioned. It's a really neat spot. It's a very unique area, being not far west, and just the placing of where he planted it. Those things are vigorous. It's
amazing the growth and the canopy and the fruit for being 100, you know, dry farm just off the natural rainfall. The vines are
can't stop it. He has laterals on laterals. I mean, there's 14-foot canes. He's got to trim the place up so he can drive the tractor down prior to picking.
And even sometimes the clusters are like, whoa, that's going to be a water bomb, or it's too much, but they're so juicy. And so much flavor.
And our block, he'll pick around. Like, he moves around it, and he won't take it all. He's there hands-on with his crew. He stages the bins in the field, so they're not just running through picking as much as they can. They're select picking it all. I think it shows in the wine, you know, that it starts off on the right foot.
And like what Jake's saying on the select picking, he doesn't go through, like, if you're buying from a particular vineyard where, all right, here's your rows, and we're just going to pick all these rows, and then you're done. He'll literally bounce around through the vineyard. Like, it's a little riper over here, not so much here, so we'll skip that till the next time. We'll move down the hill or across the hill, and we'll say, okay, he'll just be like, well, I only think I can do 8 boxes. And we're just like, cool, then we'll just do those 8 boxes, and then we'll wait for the rest of the vineyard. And it works every time. And I don't know, he just knows.
We'll be looking at it. Sometimes we're like,
I don't know,
like,
dude.
Oh,
it'll be good, don't worry. Next thing he'll get here, and he'll get in the tank or the bins fermenter, like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
it is ready.
David does a great
Probably
job.
should have pulled it a week ago.
It tastes like candy coming in this year. I was up there. I could see sugar. It was crystallized, you know, in certain spots. But just a really neat one.
But structured sugar, not flabby, like still super acidic. Low pH, nice balanced acidity. It's awesome. And it could hang longer if you wanted it. But
and not all raisins. It doesn't get all raisiny. It's amazing how those vines perform in that, you know, right place, right location. Temperature, rainfall, the terroir
It really shines
lends
through.
itself. Yeah.
Good farmer, good terroir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's what it
Doesn't
takes.
over farm it.
No.
So this will be labeled as organic. We just got to get the paperwork from him, which he has. I asked him. He goes, I got all the paperwork for you.
Sweet.
So he's on it. I just think it kind of ups the ante for people that enjoy that, or appreciate that. It is harder to farm organically and be successful. Your hands are a little bit tied. But you have to really talk to the land and be more in tune with your vineyard if you're going to do that. And he really is in tune. And those are the types of growers, if any, that we like to work with, whether it's Ted DeBost or Dave Bailey, when I'm, checking things out, seeing what's going on, and not just being on like a regular recipe where they just spray this, spray that. I do it this month, I do this that month, and that's it. I think he does things depending on what the world's telling him to do.
He lives and dies, but yeah, you have to be there all the time to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just come and go and be flighty.
So we have to go out there. He wants to have a glass of wine on his deck with us and talk. So, and we'll take our phone and record it.
Bailey, I think compared to Mustard Creek, with that acid and the lower pH, higher acidity, it's definitely one that you can leave in your cellar a little bit longer compared to Mustard Creek. A little brighter, a little fresher,
a little juicier.
Not raisiny, not high octane, not a sweet wine by any means. Just
And then in Bailey, is it 100%?
It is
Zin,
100%
right? And it's
Zin,
100% Bailey Ranch.
Yeah.
It's
I have a question about ageability in general. What would you say for the mustard and the Bailey differ a little bit? What would you say overall for Zinfandel?
Overall,
we've talked about this before, kind of alluded to it, because there's always anomalies.
Yes.
But in general, 10 years and you're kind of like, that's your max.
You're kind of on Zins, you're pushing the envelope, 6 to 8 years. After that, they don't get bad. That's what I always have to reiterate is it's not that they can't be drinkable still, is that they change.
And they lose what you liked about it a lot of times because they're fruit driven, or a lot of those flavors and characteristics.
Right, and it's not a tannic wine. It's not a wine that has that natural ageability like a Bordeaux or a Rhone. It's a fresher, easier drinking, drink me now wine, grape, no matter what you do. Different climates, if you go into Northern California, I think those Zinfandels might hang a little longer or age a little longer in the bottle. But I've
had 30-year-old Zins that don't taste like Zin at all, but we're still fun wines.
Or the Zin that they were when they were released. Yeah, they're still good and they're still unique. But if you like the Zin that you purchased or that you tried at the tasting room, or 2 to 4, it's going to be just like that day. 6 to 8, it's still really pretty and has all that. And then once you go over that 10, the color will start to change a little bit. That fruit will start to fall out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Alcohol starts to shine through a little bit more, and that's just.
And the best way, you take our word for it, or get a couple of bottles of any Zin that you really like, and mostly, you have to cellar them properly too. Yes. So I think that's important. If you want to actually see what happens as they age, you need a dark, cool place to store them with decent humidity. The wine, whether it's a little wine cooler.
Alex, the muscle. Come on, dude. Where are you? You're supposed to do 3 vintages in a row.
I know, Alex.
You tapped out.
You shave your mustache yet? I see you sometimes.
I found your guys' Halloween costumes up there when I had to prep the room before the interns came too.
They were super troopers. Muscle just chimed in.
What's up, the muscle?
That's Dr. Drew throwing you some love. It's ageability. Everything ages different, and nothing is guaranteed except death and taxes. So I know that. But our 2 cents is that we find that Zin has about a 10-year spot. That's the sweet zone within there. Probably, like Josh said, 6 to 8. You're kind of getting out there now. About 10 max, but some things last longer, and you might enjoy them. You may, enjoy the way it changed. You might like a caramelized, slightly oxidized, kind of fun if the acid hangs in there for you.
Yeah, and it depends on the Zin. It depends on where it's from, for sure. It depends on what we did in the cellar. Did we do a huge Saunier to give it more tannin, skin tannin, seed tannin, to try to give it more structure? Did we co-ferment with a tannic wine like Petit Syrah or something more, a little more structure too?
Yeah. So, but mostly cellar it properly. That's going to be your best bet to seeing how wines age and how they change over time. It needs to have the correct environment. Cool. Well, that was fun. With that, we'll go to a little bit of Bailey's. Thank you, David. Killer Ranch. We're going to roll into a Bordeaux style blend. The Para Siempre. For always, forever. The marriage of wines.
For Alex and Aliona, if they're still watching, Drew and we worked on the 2019 vintages when you guys were here. Alex was here for 2018 too. The 19s are showing phenomenal. So just so everybody else knows too, in the barrel, they're
so this has a little
on point.
A touch of the muscle on it in these wines, huh?
Yeah.
These 18s.
18 and
It's
for
Alex.
Sure. That was before he went to South Africa. He was here, then he went to South Africa, where he became a real cellar rat.
Marathon,
Yeah.
and then hiked
And
1,000
came back,
miles or
yeah.
something crazy through Europe and
Yep.
all over it. I see he's still hiking.
Yep.
I do occasionally. I do some social media stuff, but not much. But I see Alex's. Para Siempre is something Dad came up with a long time ago. In the '90s when he was wanting to play with some other varietals, see what else was going on in Paso. We were a Zin house at that point, and very well established as a Zin house. He was making a little bit of Merlot, and decided he was going to go into some other Bordeaux varietals and make a Bordeaux style blend. The idea that these specific varietals, whether you're using all 5 or just a few, they've been blended together for centuries. He ended up calling it Para Siempre, which means forever, for always, or the eternal marriage, whatnot. I've been drinking Para since I was 16. So it's good stuff. Just I don't think he started making until I was 21.
Right. Never.
So yeah, fun stuff. Para Siempre. I mean, we're definitely taking a big shift here now into wines. The question came up a second ago about aging. Now we're getting into varietals or wines where it's more of a normal conversation, a topic of conversation to be talking about aging these types of wines. These varietals tend to be more tannic, have a little bit more of that structure that is able to age and change and benefit with time rather than get old. It actually is kind of progressing in the bottle and becoming more elegant and more refined, and it tends to hang in there. And I don't know, Drew could probably geek out on anthocyanins and whatnot and why it can do better or why it's able to hold up, or he seems his chemistry is insane, but Josh obviously knows it too. So there's something that that has to do with the structure of this wine that allows it to be able to hang in there longer. But tasting now, the 18.
And this is not, some of this is estate, some of this is purchased fruit. Just go back to the inception of the wine. We do grow our own Cabernet and Malbec and Petit Verdot, which are a portion of this blend. We don't grow any Cab Franc or Merlot ever. Yeah.
No, we've never had Cab Franc or Merlot.
That's what we need to plant, Cab Franc and Merlot. Skylar's shaking his head.
No, Cab.
Yeah, we do need more Cab. We
only
have a little bit of Cab. So we have 2 vineyards with Cabernet. We need a little bit more.
Corn plant it right here. My left, your right. There's 2 acres. Oh, what we have actually, the office cab and the eucalyptus cab, or
we pulled out was 2 acres, 1 acre of so we have 2 acres available right now. We want to put
and I think that old vine, I mean, it's nostalgic and awesome and everything, but our old vine zin's a good spot to also start evolving into this program, especially because of Mom's view, Nancy's view, Jump Hill, Primitivo, and the Stepside or Windmill Block. We've got Zin now for our Mustang Springs. Which Mustang Springs? That's going to be a surprise next harvest. They're like, where's my Mustang? Who's Nancy? Nancy's our mom. So we do have a little bit of spot to do that. But like you're saying, we buy a little bit for this. We grow a little bit for this.
This is West Side, Adelaida, Templeton Gap. I don't think we have any Willow Creek in here. No, Santa Margarita for when we used to get some Malbec out of Santa Margarita. But more of the we're not in the strawberries, raspberries anymore. Now we're in the black currants, little orange rind, black cherry, darker fruits.
This can handle some game. My son shot his first buck this last weekend, and we've been cleaning it for several days now because it takes a little while to debone it, package it, and stuff. But the tenderloins with this. Tenderloin tacos, venison, good. This can hang because it just has that gaminess almost to it. Also,
and it's nice and low alcohol, so it's really fresh and nice fruit, and it's going to age. That'll help with its ageability as well. As the wine starts to a little bit of oxidation in 10, 20, 30 years, the alcohol is not going to shine through. The fruit still will because it's not 15, 16, 17%.
And that's what does hurt those wines that lose their fruit, that tend to have fruit as their front runner, as all of a sudden it becomes a little alcohol-y, right? Kind of little funky, a little overwhelming. We have a question. Can you talk about the Wine Club shipment released October 2nd? We can talk about the Wine Club shipment. Well, we're actually having a Wine Club distance pickup party coming up the first 2 weekends in October. That Wine Club shipment will be pouring at our tasting room. It's a reservations only pickup party. We're going to have a food truck there serving some awesome food. We have, the 3 wines we just went through. Also over here, we have the Misbehaved Malbec, the Divine, and Vortex. This is our 6-bottle pack. We're going to be having a lot of fun at the tasting room. We'll be hanging out there for both weekends. I will, at least, and Skybertron will, Skylord.
And I think there was a little confusion even on, we had some friends reach out. Don't have to do it just at lunch. You can do it throughout
all
the
day.
It's all day long.
All
you
day
can
long.
come, get your food, get your
If the tasting room's open, we're pouring the Wine Club wines.
Yeah.
So that is, what are the dates? The actual dates
October
are
2nd or 3rd, 4th.
Or the 3rd, 4th, and then the 10th, 11th of October. Cool. That's going to be fun. The team's on point. We have our outside seating, our VIP, our, the whole lineup already set up, dialed in for you guys. We'd love to see you at the tasting room. It'd be fun to hang out and chat about these more if you get a chance to stop in. These wines, they just keep getting better as we've become more refined and as the ranches have come online. And so each year it's always been fun, but we want to progress. We always want to progress and see if we can do better. And I think they're succeeding at that here in the winery, and the tasting room is succeeding and becoming a more fun place to kind of hang out.
Tasting room is awesome now.
We just repainted it, got a bunch of repairs, got a new roof going on. It's going to be rad.
Staff is insane. They're crushing it. They're super helpful and knowledgeable, and they've been here and they've been watched the harvest, and they're all, coming back and forth, and the outdoor seating is phenomenal, and the service and everything is rad.
Yeah, it's tight. And we actually, if you show up within the next week, one of our interns is actually working at the tasting room now, filling in. His name is Alex, another Alex. Sorry, we tried to replace you. He's 6'5", so he's 3 feet taller than you. But it's cool. Alex at the tasting room can really share what's going on at the winery with the people that are coming in to taste the wines at the tasting room. But so Wine Club pickup party, but it's more of a just first come, first serve, reservations only, just like any other day. It's just that we have food there for you Wine Club members that come in. We are going to feed you. For free.
And it's free for Wine Club.
Yeah, we're providing food to Wine Club members. So you show up, we're going to have a vegetarian meal and a couple of protein meals. Is it I don't even remember the menu.
Hungry Mother.
Hungry Mother. What's the food, Susie?
There's some really good lentils for the vegetarian. Look really good.
Are they tacos? Is it all tacos?
There's a sandwich.
Is there a pulled pork thing going on?
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. So come on. What can be paired with pork? Well, in my house, we shoot lots of pigs. So, and we also drink lots of wine. And so because we like to harvest wild pigs, we like wild pigs too. So if you're talking like pork from a store, I really like, and I like different foods. I'm not so much a pork chop guy as I am like a pulled pork sandwich. Or maybe if bacon is pork, I like to wrap jalapenos and do popper stuff with cream cheese and mushrooms. But, I think pork really goes well. Here's the menu. Smoked tomato and short rib ragu, home sausage, preserved lemon, and frisée.
Frisée salad.
on jasmine rice. That's number 1. Number 2 is roasted pork tenderloin sandwich baguette, brie, piquillo peppers, watercress, shallot sofrito, and side market salad. Wow, it's gonna be epic. And then a green lentil curry, late season heirloom tomato, collard greens, eggplant, jasmine rice, and lavish.
Can the winery staff come and
Lavage.
eat lunch each day on those weekends?
Thank you.
I think so, on our break. And we can come and mingle, tell some harvest stories, grab some food, and come back to the winery.
That'd be cool if we rotated everyone over
Yeah,
there.
because we split the shift on Saturday, Sunday.
I like petite sirah, the peachy petite with pork. I think it's really killer with like tacos, pulled pork tacos.
The new Vortex
will go well with it.
The new Vortex will go really well. Yeah, next time we'll talk about it, but it's that Zin Roan blend. It's beef. It's got some weight to it. It's awesome. It'll be a good pork blender or pork pounder.
Pork pounder. Thank you. That was very engaging. We're at the end of this.
Yes.
Speaking of engaging, Gibbsy and Josh, you're gonna have a new sister-in-law
Oh, you're announcing.
in 18 months.
Oh, wow. You got engaged.
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Miss Jennifer Garugian said yes.
Wow.
She's gonna be Jennifer Beckett, and we're doing it at Rancho Linero.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah.
18 months. When is that? I can't count.
First weekend of March, if we can't get in, as soon as the hotel
Weekend
opens.
of March of 2022.
Two.
Okay. Cool.
We've got a long time. So
Oh,
game on.
Congratulations, Jake.
Thanks.
Money.
sweet.
Fancy money.
Yee!
Party
All right.
time. Okay.
Thank you,
Palate
Palate
Rap.
Rap. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
watching,
See you next
everybody
time.
who checks this out or watches it later. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. It was fun going through the wines.
Yeah.
Yee!
Nice job.
Pork pounder.
Pork pounder.
Cheers. Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah.
33 viewers in and out.
Hey, on a Thursday at lunch.
But I don't know anything about
What he shot.